Hello everyone, welcome back to another tech video. Now if you're new here and haven't followed this Facebook page or subscribed to our YouTube channel, don't forget to tap the follow button on Facebook and or the subscribe button on our YouTube channel to see more MCPL content. We bring you interesting tech videos every Wednesday and Friday at 1. So today's program will be set up a little bit differently. We're going to start with how you will install a font if that's what you choose to do. We're going to talk a little bit about the graphics manager, and then at the end I will finalize the flyer, give you a few more tips, and then we will actually post it to our social media page. All right, let's get started. Now, another piece of content you could bring into your publication could be a new font. So if you find that some of the ones aren't really matching the aesthetic you're going for in your piece, you can download and install a new font onto your computer. So we want something a little bit more curly. So what I'm using is defont.com to find something that may suit my needs for what I'm looking for. So I've got a couple options I want to check out. So I'm going to go download them really quick. I'm just going to click the download button and it's going to download a zip file into my download location. Let's check this one. When you start the download process, your computer is going to pull the file from the internet and save it to your computer. So you may see a bar like this one that'll show up, and what I want to do is go ahead and open the location that this file is downloaded to, which was to my downloads. And in order to take the files out of the zip folder, you'll have to extract them. So in your ribbon across the top of your window, you'll choose extract all. And what it'll do here is ask you to set a destination for where the folder with the fonts will live. Then you can either decide for it to go ahead and automatically open. I'm going to have it do that so I can go straight into the folder, and I'm going to find the text file here and then go ahead and open it up by double clicking on it, and then I can look and see what this font looks like in the preview and then go ahead and choose install. And once it's finished installing, that's it. You're all done. Now in your zip file, you may see other folders and documents. These are just, most of the time, copyright documents saying, hey, this one's for this type of use only. So that's how you download a font. Now, when I was preparing and practicing for the next set of tips that I'm going to show you in this portion of the video, I realized that there was something I should have shown you quite a bit ago, but it wouldn't have made any sense now if I had told you back then. So when you are inserting a lot of objects onto your page, it can get kind of difficult to choose the right image, especially if some of them are overlapping. So what I'm going to show you here is a tool that you can use called the graphics manager. It's essentially the equivalent of the selection pane that you may see when you are in PowerPoint, and it lets you choose the exact object that you want to select in order to do modifications to it. So I'm just going to throw a lot of graphics here that we didn't end up using in our original flyer, just to give you an idea of how sometimes when you have graphics that overlap and their borders are very wide, it can be kind of hard to click on the one you need. So I'm going to overlap a lot of these things here. All I'm doing is from the insert tab, inserting a picture. I chose a few and now I'm making them obnoxiously large, so that way we can have a lot of overlap. So say I really wanted to get to that first image that's back there. So instead of me clicking on that image and sending it to the back in order to bring the other one to the forefront, I'm going to access my View tab in the show option, we're going to look at the graphics manager. And what will happen here is a panel will pop out on the right hand side that'll give you a list of all of the graphics in the entire document. Now you can have them sorted by page, and you can have them sorted with the thumbnails available. So I'm going to choose sorting them by page number because I don't want what's on the first page. That's where our flyer is. I want the options on the second page because that's what I'm showing you. So that image that I wanted that's in the background, it lets me select that image from the graphics manager, and I'm able to do any of the formatting and adding effects to it that I need to do to it. Like I'm just randomly rotating it without having to disrupt the rest of the publication. And then I can even bring it to the forefront or send it back if I want to do that without having to rearrange everything or take everything off of my page. I can go ahead and do all of the editing by utilizing that graphics manager. So in addition to using the graphics manager to select your images, you can also click the drop down for each image to go to that picture, save it as a linked picture, or replace that picture. And then if you choose replace that picture, what it'll do is open up the Windows Explorer to let you choose a new image to put in its place. But what it'll do is it'll also keep that image the exact same size. So you'll see it gave me the crop option, and I can move the picture to show part of the crop, but I'll have to reset the picture if I want it to be its actual size to take the place of the picture it was actually replacing. So keep that in mind. It'll put in a new image if you replace it to be the exact same size as the picture it's replacing. So if I do that again with this other one, and I choose another picture to take its place, it's going to fill in the space that picture was taking up before. So you can also right click on those pictures to change pictures out if you'd like to do it that way too. But if you've already got like a whole bunch of things together, you can choose them from the graphics manager and replace your images that way. So that's another option that you have within the graphics manager. So keep that in mind if you are doing a lot of overlapping and you have a lot of graphics. Definitely go to your view tab, turn on that view, turn on the graphics manager, and edit away. The version of Publisher that I am using is Microsoft Publisher for Office 365. So keep in mind what I may have in my version may be different from what you'll see on your screen. So that said, don't feel discouraged if you can't find something that I may show you today. Leave me a comment if you want me to help walk you through that. So to open Publisher, you can either double click on the shortcut icon from your desktop or click on the start icon in the bottom left of your screen. And from here, you can either scroll through your app list to find the program, or you can click the tile in your start menu. Okay, we are back, and we're going to continue working on this flyer that we have here to kind of give some people the, hey, I've got a malt shop notification on social media. So right now I've included some of the graphics we brought in last time. And what I kind of want to do is, instead of just plopping them on here, I want to add some effects to kind of make them stand out a little bit. So sometimes I like to add reflections or shadows or glow behind certain things to kind of give them that little extra touch. And so since I want those effects applied to all three of these images, I'm going to select all three and go to the context menu. And then here in the picture styles, you'll have these smaller options here. One will be for a border around your pictures, which will do the square, not the actual image itself. So for instance, like this, it'll put squares around them, and you do not want that. Gross. And then this next one here will be for picture effects. And then the one below that will be a caption. Now, if you want to see if there's more picture editing options, you can pop out this extra menu to kind of get a few more options to kind of fine tune this image. And so you can look at shape effects, and this is where you can add some more transparency to them, change their size, add some shadow, which is kind of what I want to do. Now, you don't have to go that deep into these menus to get some of these features. As you saw, they're already kind of laid out in the ribbon. So this is kind of if you want to see more of them. So like if you want to look at 3D format or softening the edges, there's some of that here. If you want to kind of contour things, change the material it's made out of, change where the lighting is showing, you can do all of that. If you don't and you want something simple, I tend to just go to the picture effects, pick what's listed in here, pick where I want my lighting to be, where the perspective should be, depending on which one I pick, and then go from there. So the only way to kind of see what they do is to pick it. So most of these are vertical. So I might want my light to come from the bottom or the shadow. So you can kind of see how that looks. So I'll undo it so you can see the difference. So that's before the shadow, after the shadow, before the shadow, after the shadow. So you get a little bit more definition. And if you want more options in regards to what happens with that shadow, you do have shadow options here at the bottom of that menu. And so this is where you'll get that format shape, where you can kind of reduce the transparency of your shadow, make it a little bit bigger if you want it a little bit bigger, make it blur, make it come out a little further than where it is, and then click OK. So if you like that, cool. If you don't, you can just undo it and go back and change it until you're satisfied with what it looks like. So what I might do is change the distance. So let's go back to those shadow options, make it a little less far away, a little less bigger, and then see what that does for us. Okay, so it's not as noticeable. So sometimes you'll just have to tweak these things a few times to get them where you want them. Yeah, it doesn't need to be a bunch. So there's that. Now, since this will be on social media, I kind of want to make my font a lot larger so that way they don't have to tap on the picture to enlarge it, to view it. So what I want to do is I probably want to switch these fonts. So I'm going to highlight this, use my format painter, which is the little brush. And what this will do is apply the font formatting, to the other text. I'm going to make it bigger and then adjust my text box to make it fit. There we go. And then I want to bring it forward so it's not behind this image because the image is kind of tall and that can mess up what my text box looks like. And then I want to make this a little bigger. So probably about 48 because this is like 80. Yeah, so half the size of that. Make it larger so it'll fit my fonts. And then I'm going to change this font to one of the ones that I picked before. So let's go through here and see what we have. Now, this isn't gonna probably be like my final font choice, but if I want my font here, since it's the subtitle, I can choose some of the colors out of my images if I want to do it that way. So you highlight the text you want, go to the font section in your home tab, and instead of choosing the font color directly from the A, you're going to click the drop down arrow and then do sample font color. So when you click this, you'll get a little dropper that will let you hover over any of the colors here that you want. So maybe if I want this blue here, and it'll give you that same color. So that way you can make sure everything matches. Now, since I did that, I know that I want to make this font a little more readable. So I'm going to change my font, because sometimes it looks good in one color but not another. Okay, we've got Hello Bunny. That looks kind of cute, but this one's really small. Oops. And it's hard to read it, so let's see if making it bold will make it pop out a little bit. I want these two to be centered. There we go. Now this is kind of hard to see on this background, so I could do a sample font color again. And let's try this pink. Hey, we're getting there. And then if we wanted to use that blue from last time, we don't have to use the sample font color. We can go to recent colors, and this will put all of the colors that you've chosen from the dropper. So we can put that blue there if we want to do that. And if I wanted my font to have an outline, sometimes that kind of helps pop the color out. I can outline it in white. So you have a lot of customization options depending on what you're doing. What I want to do now is see if I want to put a few more graphics, because I kind of want to get an idea of whether or not I'm satisfied with these. So let's try this one. Okay, and you bring something new in. Kind of position it here and then send it backward. Now, when you're sending certain things to the back, you may have to click it a couple times depending on how many objects are in that same area with it. Let's see if I've got any more. I don't remember if I do, unless I take some from here. And yeah, let's just try that one for now. So since I only want like one of these, or maybe two. Yeah, two. I think I want this one and this one. So since I want two different ones, I'm going to be cropping them. I need to paste them twice. And I'm going to crop this first one to only show the image. Oh, I also want that one too. So I'll be doing this 3 times. Or I can keep all 3 of those. Yeah, let's see how that looks. And put them next to my social medias. That'd be kind of cute. And then send them backward. Adorable. Okay, so I kind of want to fill in some of this space here. And it's an overabundance because, hey, this is an ice cream shop. You want to be overindulgent. Now that one will add some interesting color, but it seems like I'm gonna kind of going with chocolates and browns. This is tall. That's kind of cute. We'll see. I mean, it's not like we can't just keep adding things. And it's not like we only need one banner. You can add as many of these as you need to. So what I could do is duplicate this entire page and then switch out some of the images and have different campaigns going all at once. So let's make this one a little bit bigger. Like right there. But then make it bigger. And then send it backwards. Let's bring it forward one. There we go. Okay, so we got our overabundance of things there. And maybe I want to add one more thing. From that image we just had, but I want this friend instead. So we're going to crop you. Whoops, don't lose the strawberry. There we go. And then we're going to put you here. And now I had mentioned before that we had added shadow to some of those other images. So what I can do is apply that same effect to these new ones. Let's make you a smidge smaller and come down a little bit. Do I want to send you to the back or let you shine in the front? Who knows? Anyway, so the effects that we added to the ice cream cone, the shake, and then the double cones, I can choose one of those images, go to my home tab, and in my clipboard section, I can do format painter. And if I wanted to hold, because I'm applying it to multiple objects, I can double click on it and it'll kind of activate it to stay until I turn it off. So that way I can go through and click multiple options and give everything the same type of effects. And then when I'm done with it, I can turn it off. Let's get rid of this extra stuff I know we had started with. Now we can resize some things. So let's make this a little smaller. So once you kind of get it to how you like it, you'll just start adjusting things as you need to. So like maybe I want this to be the biggest thing probably. But since it's the biggest thing, I want to bring you forward a little bit and then make this a little smaller. Hey. So now I feel like we need something in this corner over here, or I can get rid of this friend, but since I'm not 100% sure yet, I'm just going to cut it instead of delete it. And then see if I just need to spread things back out. And what I could do is, since this is smaller and this doesn't have quite the length that this does, which is probably why it feels like it's not completely complete, I can scooch this, flip it, and then make a copy of this one to flank the other side for a little bit of symmetry. But then, oops, wrong way. Rotate that back to how it was. Or get rid of it completely. But like that. Let's see how that looks now. This, switch over. Because I want this in the center. So that's one of the things that's a little difficult about putting all of my things together here. And I think I want something here, because that ice cream cone was a little lopsided, and since it was not entirely what we want. We could try again. With this, let's see if this gives me a little bit better balance. Whoops, I did not mean to do that. So what I did was I accidentally clicked this swap picture and then put it over the picture that it thought I wanted to swap, but I didn't. I kind of want this to be even with our chocolate one there. So I'm going to resize you. Try to be about the same height using some of my guides here. And then make you a little bit larger. Okay, and then send you to the back. I like it. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. It's fancy. It's lovely. Let's move you over just a smidge. There we go. Okay, everyone, I think we did it. Now that I'm ready to save it, there's a couple ways I could do it. I did mention before that you can Control A to select everything. I'm going to go ahead and group it, and I'm going to right click and save as picture. Now, this might not do it the way that I want to do it because I've added a background. So I'm going to save this whole thing first, pick where I want to save it, and I'm going to put it with my other documents for it. Then we're going to play around with our saving options. So this is my flyer one. I'm going to save. You always want to make sure you save the original files or the publisher file before you go and play around with changing the formats. So you're going to go to File, Save As again. I'm going to save it in the same place, but instead of saving it again, in this Save As type, I'm going to click the drop down arrow and choose how I want to save it. So you'll see you'll have some options of saving it as a PNG, a JPEG, a GIF. There's PDF in here. I want to save it as a PNG. And then I can change my resolution if I need to do that. I want it to be high quality, but I'm putting it on the web, but we'll see what high quality looks like. So we're going to click OK. And then I want to save it in the same place. Okay, and now we're going to go check it out. Here, publisher, shop, and you'll see flyer one, the PNG files right here. We're going to double click to open it. And there it is. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful. I literally love it more than I love myself. And so if I'm ready to upload this to social media, what I'll do is open a new window. I'm going to go ahead and close this and close that. And I saved it already. I don't want to save what I had on my clipboard. I have already saved it, so I don't need to save it again. And what we're going to do here is go to our social media. If I can spell Facebook, that'll be fantastic. What I can do is upload it to each of my social media pages. Switch account. We're going to be Matilda. And if I just want to put it onto my page, I can click photo and then add photos. And then what I'll do is I will find it. Whoops. here. And there's my flyer 1. Open it. And then you'll see it put it there. I could say, find me at the malt shop. And then what I can do is, since it's going to be kind of a campaign, I can check in and put the location of my malt shop if I want to do that, and going to do any type of social media e-ing that I want to do. And then all I have to do here is, oh, JK friends, you want to go to your business page? Yeah, I want to leave. And I want to go to my actual malt shop page. You can post it on both places. There's nothing wrong with doing that. And then so what I can do is I want to okay, here we go. I want to go to my business page, create a post, and then to that post I want to add a photo. I'm going to find my flyer, open it up, and then I can say, follow me to the malt shop. And put some emojis, do what I want to do. And if I need to add anything else to my post, like check in to the location of where my actual shop is, how I'm feeling, whatever I want to do. I could even say, what's your favorite dessert? And then post. And then from there, I can scroll down and check it out. It's super cute. We did it. All right, thanks for sticking with me during the first part of this series. So, what we've done so far, like I mentioned a second ago, we took a tour of Publisher, inserted our graphics, repositioned them, added some flair to them, and then we uploaded the finished product to our social media page. Here's till next time. Have a good day. And we want to thank you for watching. Follow us to find more videos just like this. Our page on Facebook is MCPL 360. And if you miss us on Facebook, you'll still find these same videos on our YouTube channel at MCPL Mo. Find our consumer technology playlist. Have a good day.